What's up, y'all? My people. The times have changed, and with the power of the internet has come a brutality of a mindset, and the despicables of the despicables are rising and they're speaking, and they're praising Hitler, they're praising Nazism, they're praising all this anti Semitism, they're praising this ridiculousness, this classism, and all this shit. And I see how the world is divided, but I just have to remind you that we are now being educated. We are now being educated and the masses are coming together. You are not alone in this fight. You are together with people who will die with you. In the next World War III, the next Civil War, the next whatever war, we have knowledge at a fingertip, and you will question why you are fighting. You will question why you are doing certain things. You may pull back and choose jail time over being forced into a draft. You may pull back like that. And we see that arising all over the world. People are becoming woke. They're not just siding with their religion and what their book says, they're siding with what their heart and what the world says. And the world has a heart, and that heart is the heart of man, woman, and child. I look to the world, brother, and I say, I like this Nazism shit is a joke. I hope you fell for that hook. I did a bit of a speech or whatever, but this Nazi shit is a joke, brother. You really think the Nazis would have held it down? And people are saying, brother, if the Nazis won, the world would be in a way better place. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. He was a fucking drug addict, guys. A messed out drug addict that was surrounded by yes men, people who were sheep and couldn't think for themselves. But some people stood up and fought and they got killed. The unsung heroes who were not written into history, they got killed. And now we go into this world where we're woke and we're talking about American Eagle genes and what that means for race and why we should fight and step back. I looked at this shit and I said, my friend, media is one thing to get people riled up, but discernment is the other thing. Many Christians are taught discernment. Good on you. Many Muslims, it's up in the air. It's up in the air. But we're learning. We're learning. We're learning. We're learning. We collectively are here as a people. Now, imagine if I told you this, right? If we all stood in protest, every human being in the entire world, the universe, the super university, whatever, we stood in protest and we said, God, we don't side with the story about killing gay people. We don't side with the story about being, killing trans people and this and that and whatever. We don't side with all that pedophilia shit. You know what I mean? We don't side with any of that shit. What would God do? Would God just snap his finger and send us all to hell? I don't think so, guys. I think another God would show up and say, I will take care of all of you and branch us off from the evils of the world that has plagued us in the past, in the few thousand years of society. Evils, evils, and evils. People fell for a book, they got indoctrinated, they got radicalized, they killed people, their brothers, their sisters, their cousins, their friends, their family, their whoever, they kill them. And to this day, we have honor killings. To this day, we have people who deserve to be in jail for a long ass time. And I believe, my friend, I believe that God will understand when you are sentenced to multiple lives in jail. I'm talking, you're sentenced to 300 years in jail, 500 years in jail. You see these ridiculous sentences come up. My friend, I believe that when you die, you're not just gonna go to heaven and get reincarnated right away. I believe you're gonna go to a purgatory and you will stay in jail for a long ass time. And time is an abstract concept in another dimension. So be prepared for staying there for a long time. It might be hell, it might be whatever, but be prepared to be, subdued for a long time. Now, I'm warning you guys, right? I might not be the strongest guy. I might not have the most clout in the world. I might not be the most smartest guy in the world. But when our minds come together and we apply ourselves with the right motivation, and that's the key point. I could be a genius, I could be a savant, but I need motivation. And when I look at the world and I see stupidity left and right, and I see people idolizing Kanye and not being able to withdraw themselves from the dopamine rushes of his music and say, you know what, maybe Kanye's gonna go to hell. Maybe we shouldn't listen to a guy who's been remixing devilish verses and shit like that into his music and playing with frequencies and doing demonic ass shit and then coming out of the blue and saying hail Hitler, hail Hitler. Like, no, 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 my friend, delete him from your playlist. God will have a talk with you when you die. I believe that. You're not just gonna get off the hook and say, "Hey man, welcome to heaven." God is gonna have a long talk with you, walk you through your life, and say, "My friend, what is this? What is this? And what is this? Care to explain yourself?" And you can't be silent in front of God. You're gonna have to speak the truth. You're gonna have to speak the truth. My friend, I am laughing at the Nazis that went to hell. I'm laughing. I'm laughing. You know, the brown world, India, Sri Lanka, we used to be the richest countries in the world. But we got clapped by the UK and British because they had technology. They had a bunch of warfare weapons and stuff. They just had better logistics. We had the people, but they had better logistics. My friend, in the next world war, if there is one, we will come together at the snap of a finger. At the snap of a finger, because we have been globalized thanks to capitalism and technology, and we are on our way to victory. Victory. Now, my friend, I might die one day. I might be martyred one day. I'll be laughing from the grave because victory is already on our side. We gain the eternal heaven, and you should love that about life. You might be struggling. You might be poor. You might be starving. You might be getting killed, hunted. You might be in a genocide. My people have been there. But we come out on top after that. After all that evil and that bloodshed and all that bullshit, we come out on top. But that isn't to say to be walking around with vengeance in your heart and say, you know what? The world watched us die. The world watched me starve. The world watched me suffer. Most people, most people cannot think for themselves. That's why we have governments and politicians. We are a collective society of consciousness. They do the work for us, and I believe governments deserve more trust and more power in society. But people don't want to give government too much power. They don't want to. But the government will do it. The government will do it gladly. There's too much radicalization of the youth, and I've been seeing this for a long time. I watched a video of Sneeko come up, right? And he had a little bit of three young fans come up. One of them was saying, fuck women, fuck the gays, fuck the trans. And I was sitting there like, no, no, whoa, my friend. You are gonna get clapped by God. And I don't know if you're gonna go to hell for a long time, but you will get probably jail time or something like some type of fucking justice, because my friend, you are poisoning the mind of the youths. See, in Canada, I was taught to be accepting and loving, and at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit homophobic. I was like, nah, I don't wanna see these gay people. I don't wanna interact with them. But oh man, after seeing them on social media over and over and over and over again, I decided to say, what do they have to say? Now, I don't like the fried voice stuff. I still don't like that stuff. But the people that aren't faking it, the people that aren't twisting their things around, their voices around, I listen to them as equals. They have wise things to say. They talk about life. They talk about love. They talk about this. They talk about that. Now, of course, there's evil people in all matters of people. But aside from that, there are good people with kind hearts. And sometimes we find love in the same person, and the same gender, and the same look, whatever it is. I just want to say, guys, we're coming to a better world. Have some fucking hope. Have some fucking hope. You see on media, brother, you see a bunch of German youth doing the Hail Hitler salute. I look at this shit and I'm like, guys, you wouldn't even last a fight in a 2 versus 1 with me. I laugh at this shit. Now, of course, we have guns and bullets nowadays, but if I really applied myself, I could probably be a top sniper, a top shooter, if I really applied myself. Hey, artificial intelligence is going to be on our side. Robots are going to be on our side. And I'm pretty sure the Asians and the Chinese, they don't fuck with Hitler. They don't fuck with all that genocide shit. They don't fuck with a lot of shit. We have different minds, but we have the same heart. We will come together one day in unison. While the world turns to peril, the ignorance rises, and the bots keep distorting us, distorting our vision of reality, making it look like there's so much evil and hatred in the world. But my friend, you have to visit a place like Canada and see how beautiful and accepting and loving the world is. You have to come here and see it for what it is. We've been helping countries for the longest time. The longest time, donating money here, there, everywhere. And the people are getting upset. Do people think that our country doesn't have impact on the world? Of course we do. We have impact to the highest degree. If Canada were to be under attack, you would see people out of all over the world speaking up. People will be rising to their armies. People will be coming to our rescue. People will love it. When Donald Trump says, we're going to be the 51st state, we're going to be the 51st state. No, 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 my friend. It doesn't matter if you're 10 times our population. We do big things with what we got. We might be smaller, but we do big things. And when we punch, it hurts, it bruises, it stays there for a long time. So yeah, man, I don't want you to be scared of the internet. And the youth are slowly getting off the internet, and I believe they should be, because they're bumping music like Kanye's pro Hitler album. They're bumping that shit left and right, and they're getting radicalized. And if not from them, it's from YouTubers like Sneeko, Myron Gaines, Destiny, all these people. They're getting radicalized left and right. And I just want to say this, just because they have a following doesn't mean they should be noted in society as heroes or influencers or people of great power and notoriety. No, 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 no. If you have 3,000 Nazis following you and you have 3,000 viewers, it doesn't mean you should be placed up there and win awards and crazy stuff. No, 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 no. No, my friend. No, my friend. Which is why I challenge many of you to do fundraisers and see where your community is at. See where the heart of your people are at and say, you know what? My community loves me. They love me and they are just like me. They would be my friends in real life. I love to meet all of them. See what happens with that. Raise money for charity. Raise money for this. Raise money for that. Be an advocate. Go out there and do stuff. Live it up. But the world, my friend, is full of snakes, fakes, and retards. I have to use that word. It is what it is. There are people who think they're smarter than you, but they're not even coming close to your intelligence. They're not even coming close to it. My friend, you are smarter than you know. You're smarter than you look. You just have to apply yourself. The school, sometimes it's not there. The motivation is not there. The church, sometimes the motivation is not there. But man, when we love stuff, when we find the right stuff, and usually it's the right person or the right kids, the right family that brings out the superior personality of yourself into this world, into this life. Great things are on the way. I want you to hang around and think for yourself and keep your individuality. Keep that shit and be a good person. It's not worth the little crime, the little fraud, the little this, the little that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because in the long run, I'm talking about eternity, you will have a lot of things to be paid for. Right? So justice is ever so long. And I want you guys to understand that. Peace out, guys.